I have a really good feeling about this show today. There's a lot to cover. It's a jam-packed episode. But I'm going to start with the most important thing, and it's about you. It's about your system and how that system is the best system for you because you put it together. You curated this system. Everything you know is already in there, and it's working in, to whatever degree, it's working in your room, with your music, how loud you like to listen, how quietly you like to listen. Up to this point, it's your state of the art. So before you buy anything else, I have really important information about what you should do about the next thing. But there is, before we get there, a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 Audiophiliac viewer systems of the day that come later on. And also this new feature, the Audiophiliac album of the day. Again, later on in the show. Anyway, so your system, I'd say, is already most likely in really good shape. But you're going to do it. You're going to buy more stuff. Speakers, amp, cables, turntable, DAC, something. That's your next step, you're thinking. And that may well be true. But here's something really important to think about before you buy anything else that's expensive. Now, of course, I know you're going to do the research. You're going to look at the company's website. You're going to look at the specifications. You're going to read reviews or watch reviews on YouTube. All good stuff. But you know what might even be, in the long run, more useful? Is contact the company. Email them, text them, or call, whatever works. Contact the company, and first, do they respond? Do they answer that phone call? Do they answer your email or text? If they don't, say, in the email or text or conversation, I'm interested in buying such and such, and I'd like more information from you, or talk to somebody. Feel them out. If you're buying a used thing, do they offer service? And if they do, how much does it typically cost, etc., etc. Basically, push them for information. And the more responsive they are, because some companies will be and some companies won't. But if they basically don't even respond to your text or call or whatever, take that as a warning that if you ever need them in the future, they're not going to be there for you. They are just not going to, there's nothing going to happen. You are on your own, pal. And even if there's a warranty, I want you to have some contact with them before you buy. Part 2 of this, the ... part 2 is, at some point, chances are you are going to want to sell this thing. Speaker, amp, whatever. You're going to want to sell it, and does it hold its value? And the way to know that is look around. Look around for that company's products on eBay or AudioGon or whatever used marketplace you like, and see if they're there and do they hold their prices. That is the point. If you see lots of them, let's say you're going to buy their $3,000 tube preamplifier. Do you see lots of the previous model or something online, being sold? If you see lots and lots of them, that's not a good sign. People are, unloading them for some reason or other, right? If you see very few of them, I think that's a good sign, because that means that people are holding on to them because they like them, right? And of course, what are the prices? A $3,000 preamp someone bought 5 years ago, and it's on the market now, and it's selling for $1,000. Beware, right? Because if that's all they can get, that's a bad sign, right? So look at what the product that you're going to buy, imagine it in the future that if you need to sell it, what are you going to get back from it? And how difficult is it going to be to sell it? And I would tell you in general that the more obscure the company, the harder it is to sell. The companies that are very popular, PS Audio, shit or something, they're going to be easy to sell. Or it's definitely deckware, because people just line up to buy them new, right? So selling a used deckware anything is probably a very easy transaction because everybody wants them. So popular products are easy to sell on the used market. Unpopular, I shouldn't say unpopular, obscure companies, lesser known companies that, what is this thing? That's going to be really a tough sell when you want to get rid of it. So things to think about, real world stuff. That's, to me, that's research. This whole thing of reading reviews, or even watching mine, that's not research. That's just entertainment, in my opinion. Contacting the company, this is hard, factual information. Do they respond? And when you want to sell this thing, can you sell it without losing your shirt? Okay, you will, as they say, thank me later. Oh, and I have to bring it up one more time while we're in the facts of life here. If you want to improve the sound of your system, a new preamp might be nice, or a DAC, or a turntable, but you know what would make an even bigger difference? Moving and improving the placement of your speakers. And even if you've already done it, do it again. Because every time you move those speakers, a foot here, a foot there, it can make a gigantic difference. So, and it's free. So consider that. And an addendum to the moving speaker concept, move your listening position closer, further. Just experiment, because even that it's a reciprocal relationship between you and your speakers. So yes, move your listening position and see how that flies. But let's move on to the second part of this show, which is viewer systems of the day. There's going to be three viewer systems of the day. And after I show you those, I will return to talk about the Audiophiliac album of the day. But for now, let's check out those systems. This system comes to us from Slobodan and his wife Alexandra. They live in South Serbia. The speakers are Diaspan Amenities Mark II. The amp is an Audio Note Cobra, DAC, Audio Note DAC 1X, CD Transport, California Audio Labs Delta, Streamer, Volimio Motivo. The power is from SOTM SPS 500. The turntable and phonoprene are Auris Audio, and the cables are all by Audio Note. Next up, Carlos, and this is his system. The turntable is a Graham Audio custom with a Riga TB 250 tone arm and the Nagaoka MP 110 cartridge. The phono preamp is also Riga. It's called the Mini Phono. CD player, Marantz CD 6003. There's an NVA passive preamp. Power amplifier is a custom 300B in parallel. Those are the monoblock amps. The speakers started out as Snell Type J2s that have been upgraded by Audio Note with silver wiring in the crossovers and driver refoam. Interconnects are by cord, and the speaker cable is QED. The headphones are AKG 240s that Carlos bought in 1985. Thank you, Carlos. Milton sent in these beautiful pictures. He lives in Puerto Rico. Start off with what he calls a Name Audio 200 series trio, which consists of an NAP 250 power amplifier, an NSC 222 preamp streamer, and the MPX 300 power supply for the preamp. Those towers, those speakers are Borison X3s. There's two Rel T9i subwoofers. The CD Transport is an Audiolab 9000 CDT. And the turntable is a project debut Carbon DC with the Sumiko Amethyst cartridge and the S-Booster power supply. The cables are from Wireworld and Aurora. Milton tells me he's thinking about upgrading to the Technics SL1200G turntable next year. Well, good luck with that, Milton. And thanks to all three of you guys who submitted pictures for the Viewer System of the Day feature. Okay, so now we're back. The Audiophiliac album of the day is Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall in 1972. And this is an incredible recording for the music and the sound, but it really is about the music because, I mean, Carnegie Hall is big. It's 2,000 or 3,000 seats, but the way this show runs, it feels like Bill is in a small venue, the way he's just totally connecting to the audience. It feels very, very intimate. And he has a big band, he has strings, but this is not like overly produced or jammed. No, it's very relaxed. He's conversational with the audience. It just flows one song into the other. Everybody seems to be having a good time. And that intimacy between Bill and the audience, and therefore you, now in the present time, is so beautiful to hear, you know, especially, I mean, he does the hits, Lean on Me and Grandma's Hands and Ain't No Sunshine. I mean, they're all there. But more important is the way he sells them, the way he delivers them to the people is just gorgeous. So if you're a fan of Bill Withers and you somehow overlooked Live at Carnegie Hall, check it out. And if you've never heard of Bill Withers, I mean, if you don't know who he is basically a soul singer, but more like a folk soul singer, you know. He's not James Brown. No, definitely not. Or Otis Redding. So yeah, anyway, that's my pitch on Bill Withers' Live at Carnegie Hall. Check it out. So at this point, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. This channel is 8 years old. There's almost 1,500 videos, lots of reviews of speakers and electronics and DACs and analog stuff. It's all there. There's playlists, so it's pretty easy to find. Could be better organized, I admit, but the playlists are definitely a big help. And what else? Well, if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is to join my Patreon for just a couple of dollars a month, up to $50 or even $100 a month. And at any level, once you join, you can see exclusive content. Yes, there's lots and lots of exclusive content. It's usually one per week that goes up there. So there's that. And yes, and if you join at the top 2 tiers, you and I will have a conversation every month, one-on-one. And I love doing those conversations. So thank you again for watching. And I hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.